Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube, back with two Dark Shadows videos for you guys. These two videos are my last Dark Shadows videos for November. I will see you guys and gals in December for more Dark Shadows videos. Alright, so was it the ghost of Dave Woodard? This video was inspired by Letitia Faye on Twitter. Um, when I asked this question in this video, you know, I mean, was it really the ghost or was it Barnabas, using some sort of witchcraft? Was this Angelique without us seeing her? I don't think it was Barnabas or Angelique. I do think this is the ghost of Dr. Dave Woodard doing this all by himself. And really, for those who don't know, Dr. Dave Woodard is friends with Dr. Julia Hoffman. He gives her the benefit of doubt. He thinks here's the thing. There's there's a moment where Woodard is not wrong when he says, "Oh, Julia, I could see that you're in love with Barnabas. You have feelings for him." He's not wrong. He could tell Julia's developed. You know, she wants to be with Barnabas. So there's that. Um, but later on, he's coming to the realization of, oh my God, Julia is. Yeah, he hears Julia and Barnabas talking inside the old house. He's outside listening. And this is all coming off of David's psychiatrist saying Barnabas sitting up with his fangs. Woodard deducts, oh my God, Barnabas is a vampire. The Barnabas in the portrait is the Barnabas we see. It's that one. Um, so here's Woodard. He learns by listening to Barnabas and Julia, where Julia's diary is. He goes and gets it in Collinwood. He just tells them that he's there to see David. Barnabas and Julia, who Barnabas wants the diary destroyed. Julia's like, all right, what the hell. She doesn't say what the hell, but she says, oh, all right. She agrees. I secretly, here's the thing: if Woodard never discovers any of this, I think or just suspects Barnabas, and I think Barnabas wants the notes destroyed. I think Hoffman still finds a way that the notes don't get destroyed. Just my opinion. Now, Woodard finds the notes. He takes them. Barnabas and Julia see him. Um, they search the room. They search Julia's room. Barnabas and Julia do, and they do not. They see that the diary is gone. And now, yes, Julia fills uh, the syringe with the stuff that'll make Dr. Woodard look like he had a heart attack. Why do I forgive Julia for this? Same reason I forgive Barnabas for kidnapping Maggie. He doesn't try to kill her. In many ways, I've talked about how if you're gonna make someone a heel, make them a heel. If you're gonna make someone a baby face, make them a baby face. But there are those characters who have that shades of gray, and that's Hoffman really when you first meet, when you get to realize what she's up to. But here's her baby face turn, right? Really, in this episode, you could say, or it's this episode is at least causing it. Julia does prepare the needle. Here's the thing: Julia herself had no intention of using it. It was just a scare tactic. I I seriously think that because you can say, well, she she led Barnabas to Dr. Woodard's office. I'll say this, but by this point in time, you got to understand Barnabas has been around the town of Collinsport. He knows where everything is by now. He knows that where Dr. Woodard's office is. He doesn't need Julia to come along to do this. I mean, he literally could just take the needle and do it himself. I'm going to tell you why I think Barnabas has Julia. Julia more comes along to talk Woodard out of going to the place. That's why Julia is really there. But for Barnabas, when Julia comes, when him and Julia go to Barnabas, this is a loyalty test. This is okay. I'm gonna need you to kill your best friend in order for me to live. Now keep in mind, Julia's loyalty has been tested before. You might say, why does Barnabas want to test her loyalty? Because it's something that he keeps. It's something to me that he does with everybody. Willie's test is to go do what Barnabas tells him, and Willie does it. Julia's is, hey, go kill Willie Lewis, and we're gonna go kill Dr. Dave Ward. Now, with Willie, she was definitely gonna remove that needle in his arm, and Willie would have bled out and died. Obviously, that didn't happen. The sheriff of Collinsport stopped him, or stopped her. Sorry. Now, here's what's really interesting. Here's what's interesting. Julia does not kill Woodard. Me and my buddy Mark Gilman, shout out to him. We had talked about this a bit before, where in our 1795 video, if Julia Hoffman, if Dr. Hoffman is the one who sticks the needle in Woodard, there's no turning her baby face. There just isn't. But because it's Barnabas who does it, and she's just like, Grayson's performance after that happens too really matters because she's in such shock and disbelief that this escalated to this. Her friend, her colleague, dead. She about leaves and forgets the needle, forgets the book, everything, and her bag. I mean, her bag, everything, and that's what an actress. Um, I love Jonathan Fred's line. Consider it like a dream, which you will never, which you will never wake. Probably just butchered the line, but really just an amazing line by Fred. What he says. Also, why do I not think that you know Woodard's ghost is sent by Angelique or Barnabas? For one really main reason, and I know some people might say, well, Woodard's ghost is a bit antagonistic. Every other ghost prior to him has had moments of being antagonistic. Some more so than others, some more, the volume's a bit more turned up. Look at the widows. The widows of Widows Hill going after, helping the ghost of Bill Malloy go after Matthew Morgan. And later on, the widows calling for Elizabeth to jump. They're still waiting on that fourth widow, by the way. Okay. My God, my God, stay away from Widow's Hill. Now, with them, though, with the widows and Bill Malloy, The difference is the widows took their own life. Bill Malloy did not take his. Obviously, Matthew Morgan took his. So we've seen Ghost be antagonistic. Obviously, Josette be Josette going to Matthew's cottage and reaching out for David in front of Laura. Uh, Josette leading Vicky to the graveyard. Just really, really good stuff. The ghost of Sarah. Notice what Sarah does. Sarah makes sure to let Willie see her, let obviously let Maggie see her, but not Barnabas right away. That to a degree is antagonistic because you have at first when Maggie says Barnabas is like, you've lost your mind. Then when Willie says about it, when Willie says, yeah, there was this little girl playing out there. A little girl. Barnabas can't believe there's no little girl out there. He knows who that little girl is. He doesn't want to own it, but he knows. He knows. Um, so all the ghosts of Dark Shadows tend to be antagonistic. They tend to antagonize who they're after or who they're seeking. And keep in mind, with the ghost of Dave Woodard, who's he antagonizing? Julia. Now, here's the difference. He's not, in my view, he's not antagonizing her to stop her. He's antagonizing, or really stop anything she's doing. He's antagonizing her to seek the truth. Because we know that Dr. Hoffman is the person who discovers Barnabas as a vampire first. Then it's Dave Woodard. Now, what does Dave Woodard know that Dr. Hoffman doesn't? Well, I've talked about this with the ghost of Collinsport. I believe I did. I might do a revisited just to sort of the 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 dead the dead use the living to help them in their quest for eternal peace, if you will, to in the spirit world. Where here's the ghost of Dave Woodard. He's you know yes, antagonizing Julia, but in many ways he's pushing her to go against Barnabas, not just to necessarily go against Barnabas, but to find more things out about Barnabas, because in death he already knows these things now. He didn't know them then, but he knows them now. And he can't just tell her. He wants her to find out. So Julia sees Sarah. Julia goes to the mausoleum, and hears weeping, and then hears a wicked woman laughing. That wicked woman to me is Angelique. Um, Again, the ghosts have no problem using the living, and they tend to a lot, whether the ghosts are good or bad. They use the living. Now, with this, causes a lot of things to happen. Obviously, because by this time Carolyn is working for Barnabas and enjoying it. So they know Julia basically becomes Barnabas's new enemy, but she has left her diary in a safe deposit box. If anything should happen to her, someone will open it and read her diary. Now, is Dave Woodard's ghost ever present after this? No, no, not really. And it's sort of unfortunate that you don't have that follow up with him, but for the brief time his ghost is antagonizing Julie, he really sell it. It's really important to watch Julia sort of being driven to this, in many ways, a fake guilt. Because Julia did not uh, m- murder her fellow colleague. Barnabas did. Again, like I said, to me, Julia was never going to use that needle. It was just there for. It was more there for show for her. But with Barnabas, it wasn't there for show. It was there to use for him. Why do I think now? For those who are going to ask, why do I think that when Julia comes along, this is a loyalty test from Barnabas to, because when you really watch the early episodes of Barnabas and watch how he treats Willie, who's his servant, Carolyn, who's his servant. I'm not going to sit here and say Dr. Hoffman is his servant, but Dr. Hoffman works for him to help him cure him, but he rushes it. He rushes the cure and it doesn't work. Now, does does Barnabas realize he's made Julia angry? Yes, absolutely. And again, great, great actors, great writing, great chemistry. And now that Julia has become this baby face and turned against Barnabas, she tells him, "I saw your sister Sarah." This infuriates Barnabas again. He chokes Julia, who appears. This is where the confrontation, it happens. It happens in the old house where both of them grew up, and it absolutely should happen there. Beautiful, beautiful job by the Ghost of Sarah. But I really think the ghost of Dave Woodard is somebody who was not summoned by some. He wasn't summoned by anybody. He brought himself out, up from the spirit world into the world of the living, and antagonized Julia. Now, did did Barnabas, did he? How do I put this? I'm trying to think how to ask this. Here's my question to you guys: do you think Barnabas, if it had been, let's say, do you guys think Barnabas wanted Woodard to join him, but when he doesn't, obviously he's got to kill him? That's my question to you guys here on this episode. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you.